want you to start to feel, can you all begin to feel that real change happens when you're teaching your body that you're no longer in any danger? So can you feel that, like, what's happening for those, and it's okay if it's not happening for you, we're going to help those who need support. But I want you to feel that when you start to really come into reality and that there is no danger happening, and every meaning that we're giving it through AIM is just a fear, basically, which is just a projection coming from a core trauma. And so when we clear the fear or the misunderstanding or misconception, we're going to look lovingly at it. We actually become back present in our life, present into reality. What that does is it allows us to think differently. It allows us to see things differently, look at different perspectives, look at different sides. It allows us to process what is really in reality, and then allow us to truly feel on purpose how we want to feel, which is how we heal. And so the greatest source, if you can all feel this, the greatest source of suffering are the lies we tell ourselves when we don't even know we're lying. It's kind of like that. It feels like that. It's so different than what we think is going to be when we've taught ourselves to numb out, to avoid feeling. What you want to do is start with small things. Start to feel the sensation in your big toe, your right toe. Begin to, when you do an AIM, notice what you're feeling, if there's any constriction, any pressure in your body, and then allow it a voice, right? What we're doing here is beginning to refamiliarize. You are reprogramming, you are rewiring your brain. You're refamiliarizing yourself with the part of yourself you killed off, like in a loving way. We're not judging any of it, as a way to protect yourself. So I want everybody to know that as well. So that, John, that's for you. And then also inside of this is really understanding that we can become addicted to the trauma. So let me explain that a little bit. The pain of pleasure and the pleasure of pain. People would be like, no, yes. Many traumatized people that, will seek out experiences as a way that others might repel because they're afraid of feeling empty or bored. That's what the fear is. I remember for me, because I didn't realize everything, I made a drama out of everything. If you would have asked me back then, I wasn't dramatic. I wasn't dramatic at all. But I was. I just didn't think so. I just thought I wasn't boring. Right? This is why I want to point that out, because it's really important to see that we can love to hang on to our stories or our meanings and make big things out of it, because there's some fear that if we didn't have all those stories, what is it for you? If that's you, what is it that you're most afraid of? Like for me, it was that I would be boring. I'd be like a nothingness, right? And it's actually the opposite. Like when you let go of all the drama and all the story, and you really are intentional and have clarity and focus, you actually allow more joy. So you're not actually boring. You actually allow more joy, more fulfillment, more satisfaction. You actually are more interesting. It's the opposite. People actually find you fascinating. Like, how do you do that? It does the opposite effect. It's a really interesting dynamic that I like to always share, because people are not often used to that. But it's important to understand that we can become addicted to the pain of pleasure or the pleasure of pain. And so this is just like for people who want to be angry all the time, and that you're used to being under severe stress, or you've convinced yourself, I only operate at great levels under severe stress. So like you validate that. You want to be different than other people. So you use that as your way to okay it or make it, link pleasure to stress, or even put pleasure towards some type of dangerous activity. The reason I'm saying all this is these are all unconscious and sometimes conscious attempts to gain control over something that feels painful. And instead, what you want to take on is actually soothing the part of yourself that wants to become, wants to rebel or be angry or be dangerous. And by pulling up and out and getting curious about it, that's really, really, really crucial.